And the truth of the matter, it was God's plan to show y'all the liar.
It is time to embrace being hated. You owe yourself an apology for even allowing low vibrational people into your circle. It's time to stand up. It's time to enter a new you in a new era. It's time to seek the Lord, and it's time to ask Him to rebrand you. Because this 2025, we are being rebranded. We are killing our old selves in 2024. We are leaving it there. And the door is going to be shut. And we're going to lock it and we're going to burn the key to ashes, because this 2025 is a brand new era. I don't know about you, but 2025, we want to look completely different. We want to feel different. We want to look different. We want to enter a new era. It's time. Because at the end of the day, 2024, was a year of trial and errors, cutting off a lot of friendships, actually, because I know a lot of people cut off a lot of friendships in 2024, and 25 is actually fully walking in our purpose. And how can we actually fully walk into our purpose without having to trial and error and actually having to figure out along the way? Because we don't want to figure out along the way. We want to walk in what God told us to do. And we want to achieve it well. And we want to achieve it to the fullest potential. And that is going to come with the cost of being hated on. You see, when you are different, when you are unique, when you are chosen, you're going to be hated on. You're going to have a lot of enemies. And that's something, unfortunately, you just have to embrace. Because at the end of the day, if no one doesn't like you, you're not living your life right. If everyone likes you, even then, even if you think everyone likes you, I promise you, not a lot of people like you as they claim they like you. And unfortunately, some of you are going to have to find out the hard way. Because at the end of the day, there are unfortunately a lot of weirdos. There are a bunch of, low vibration people that just don't love themselves, and they will take it out on you. That has everything to do with them and not you. So it's important you need to know who you are, because in the day, you can dim yourself to the lowest and people will still find a reason to not like you. But today, it's time that we take our power back. We're taking our power back this 2025. And we are about to really rediscover ourselves, our purpose, and our identity this 2025. It's over. It's over for the enemy. Because when you are walking your purpose, especially in the way of the Lord, the enemy will really try to send all these distractions or try to tear you up or try to remind you of ways of the past, but no more. We are rebranding ourselves. This 2025 is a brand new you. And you need to walk in that. And you need to know that. Okay? We are operating on high vibrational vibes only this 2025. Not no low vibrational energy. Let people say what they want to say about you. Because at the end of the day, the people that didn't want to hear it the first time, they most definitely don't want to hear it now. So you need to learn to let that go. And I understand, how it is. There are people out there that are narcissists. They lie. Or they were, because people like to say, oh, if you're by yourself, then that means you're the one that's the problem. But if anything, it's the opposite. Because true, real people are always going to be lonely, because it's more believable to understand that we are in a world full of fake people than actual, real, genuine people. Because fake people, they essentially are trying to bottle up their own trauma, and they're trying to mask it as I'm real, I'm raw. Anybody that has to say that they're real and that they're genuine are not truly real and genuine people. Real and genuine people are not proclaiming it from the mountains and the rooftops that I'm real, I'm genuine. No, that's just not the case. Real people actually work on themselves internally. They try every single day. They learn new assets, new skill assets, new knowledge. They acquire new knowledge. They get in their word to try to become the best versions of themselves. They're emotionally mature, and they understand that they're not 100% perfect, but they're trying every single day to get to that level. And that, to once again, always trying to be more like Jesus, because Jesus is the only person out there that's perfect. And obviously we are not 100% perfect, but we can try our best to be more and more like him this year. So that's what true, genuine people are doing. They're not out here saying, I'm real. In reality, it's just a way for them to mask up that what they're battling. They don't want to actually, because true realness comes from you accepting the hurt you went through, all the trauma, accepting it, facing. Because at the end of the day, we cannot change. We cannot change where we came from, our families, our story, or where we come from. We cannot change that. But we can take responsibility for the future generations to come. So you guys sit there and dwell on that trauma, that self-pity, and then 80 years later, you're in your 80s, and you have not achieved anything in this lifetime because you're too busy trying to find relatability in everybody else. You're trying to find, oh, what this person I have in common, and trauma bond with other people. You don't have time for that. Time is running. We only have 24 hours. In a blink of an eye, you're going to be 30, 40, 50. And what can you say to your future children now? I did this, that, the third. I did big things for this nation. I did big things for this world. And you can't do that if you're over here dwelling on what people think and say about you. I had to master, and I had to really get in my word. I had to really talk to God. I had to understand I cannot afford to care what people think about me in this hour. I don't care. And I tell people, if they want to believe it, double it times 10 and believe it. Believe it. If that's the story that's going to bring them peace, then that story's going to bring them peace. Even then, that story won't even bring them peace because they're still going to talk about you. They're still going to talk about you in front of an audience because low vibrational people, they talk in front of a big audience because they don't want to look like a hater alone. So they want to acquire people so that they can look like, oh, see, I'm not the only one that had an issue with him or her. See, that's the issue. But it's time that we stand up. It's time that we know who we are. Who cares if Sally and James are talking about us? Who cares? They're bitter and they don't love themselves. Because notice how anytime somebody's talking about you, it's a life I would never want to trade. You are not doing better than me. I would never want to trade my life with yours. They are never, 10 out of 10, not even 10 out of 10, they are never doing better than you. Because people who truly have things going for themselves will never take the time out of the day to talk about you. I always like to use this analogy. For example, if you want to start a business, a startup, people like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos will never judge you because they were once in that position. They once had to be there. They once went through that exact same thing. But it's always the low vibrational people, for example, that don't have anything go for themselves, that have to talk about you saying, oh, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't make it. You can make it. And whoever's watching this, you will make it. Because at the end of the day, Christ said, I will make it. I do have a wonderful future and a happy ending. So why would I listen to you and what you have to say about me? I don't care. Take that nonsense elsewhere. Take that self-hatred and that bitterness elsewhere and go reflect on it. In fact, let that self-hatred consume you and let it eat you alive. That's what you need to do. You need to start putting yourself first. Stop being nice to everybody. Some people don't deserve you and the gifts you have to carry. They will either take advantage of that or they'll try to exploit that. And it's time you stand up and you put an end to it. So who cares if people are talking about you, they got something to say? Those people, I would never want to live their life. I would never want to be them. I would never want to be them. And they could never be me. Clearly, they can't be me because they're talking about me. They talk about you, but then they want to be you. When you get successful, they want to be like, oh, well, I used to know this person. I used to know that person. No. Who are you? It's time that those people become dead to you. And it's time you talk to God and you tell him, Lord, we're getting vengeance this 2025. We are rising. We are rising up like warriors. We are putting the enemy to shame this 2025. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's over for the enemy. It's over. We're sick and tired of the games and the nonsense that he was trying 2024, and it won't happen again. And you need to apologize to yourself. You need to apologize to yourself for allowing yourself to even be within those kind of people. Actually, if I'm being honest, I had to apologize to myself. I had to apologize to Christ first and myself for allowing myself to think so low of myself because people tried and attempted to gaslight me into thinking low of myself. Then I had to realize I had to stand up. I had to call so many people last year. I had to reflect. So this 2025, we're going to embrace being hated on because if people don't hate us, we're not doing it right. We're not doing it right. We are not doing it right. That's how you know you're really gonna make it and you have something in you. Because why would they sit and talk about you if you didn't have something great in you? Exactly. You have something great in you and it needs to be discovered. And they don't want you to discover it. That's why they try to dim your light and bring you down so that you don't find it. Because if you find what's inside you, you will become a threat to the kingdom of darkness and to the whole world and to them. And they don't want that. They don't want the smoke. So it's time we stand up and we stand on business. So thank you so much for watching. At the end of the day, this 2025, we're leveling up. We're bossing up physically, spiritually, and mentally. Because I know at the end of the day, through Christ, I can do all things. I have a wonderful future and a happy ending. So you can't tell me nothing. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I hope whoever's watching this, you will know that you have an unstoppable force inside of you. It's time to use it to your ability this 2025. Because this 2025 is the turning point. It's about to be, we're going big or big. We're not going big or home. We don't have time to go home. Home is not even an option this 2025. We're going big and big this 2025. Thank you for watching.